In previous video, we made it through the tenant 1 to communicate between two data center 1 and data center 2 with a super spine route service. This DCI service is only for the tenant 1. And today we're going to focus on the VXLAN multi-tenant deployments with a firewall inserted. The firewall we're going to deploy in the DC1 port 1 that is connected to my leaf 1. The leaf 1 has two interfaces to connect to my firewall. E/13 that is connecting to my tenant 1 VLAN 110 and E1/4 that's connected to my tenant 2 VLAN 210. So this is my centralized gateway VXLAN with the different tenants for communications through a firewall. This tenant communication is between border and border leaves. So remote and other leaves nodes to make traffic to this border leaf through the firewall to the other tenant. The IP static route will be created in each tenant VRF and will be redistributed into our VXLAN EVPN BGP table. Through the VXLAN EVPN in the backbone to the other leaves or remote leaves in different DC. So first thing, let's configure my ASA V firewall that's connecting to my DC leaf 1. First, we'll be configuring is the G/00 as connecting to my tenant 1 interface to the leaf 1. We'll name it T1. Security level set to 50. And IP address 192.168.11.253. 255.255.255.0. No shut. The other interface, C0/1, name if T2, that's tenant 2, secure level set at 100, IP address 192.168.21.253/24. And no shut. And next, I will make a route. We'll mark the route for T1, 192.168.100/24. It goes to 192.168.11.254. We'll make another route for the interface T2. This 192.168.2.0, and we'll route it to 192.168.21.254. As a simple router, the firewall will route the traffic. If traffic goes to T1, it will route it to the T1 interface, and T2 will route to the T2 interface. The IP here is any cast gateway IP in T1 and T2. Then I will make access list of name as permit all extended permit IP any. So I already have it. I'll just go to access group permit all in interface T1. Show run. I configured two interfaces connecting to my leaf 1. And I'll have a access list to permit all. And I have two routes to my endpoints VLANs in two tenants, and each routed to the NXOS gateway. This is the VLAN 110. This one VLAN 210 is 110 in tenant 1. 210 VLAN is in tenant 2. And I'm allowing everything to pass through the firewall. For the next, everything will be done in DC1 leaf 1. The DC1 leaf 1 will be configuring two interface with VLAN 110 and 210 to my ASA firewall. And the DC1 leaf 1 will be configuring two static IPs. The static IP will tell how tenant 1 route to a tenant 2 subnet and how tenant 2 VRF route traffic to my tenant 1 subnet. And the last question is how we gonna advertise this through the fabric and even to a different VLAN. We are going to match the static routes and redistribute it into the BGPs through IPv4 unicast table and pass it through to the VXLAN EVPN to gather all the remote leaves. So let's bring my DC1 leaf 1. First, I will be configuring the interface E1/3. Give a description is to connecting ASA T tenant 1 interface, switch access VLAN 110, no shut, interface E/4, description, I'll give it as tenant 2 ASA virtual, and switch access VLAN 210. After this, what I can test from the ASA, I can ping 192.168.11.254. 192.168.21.254. That's the direct connect to my firewall, and the firewall is using DOL 253. So we could directly to ping the NXOS cast gateway IPs. Let's keep focusing my DC1 leaf 1, and what I will configure is VRF contact tenant 1. Enter this VRF tenant 1. I'll make a static route. How tenant 1 gonna route to tenant 2. /24. We're gonna route to my firewall IP. Exit VRF context. We're gonna go to tenant 2 VRF. I'm gonna make a route. How tenant 2 is gonna to route to my tenant 1. It's gonna route to my ASA firewall IP. The static then will generate route type 5 EVPN upgrade to other VTAPs. So let's do some simple testing. Let's ping the firewall tenant 2, and its direct connect should be able to ping. And tenant 1 and tenant 2 interface can be pinged. After this, so we will focus on how we advertise into the BGP for the static routes. So IP access list will make D2 tenant 1. We're going to match my static route. Make an access list. We'll match the static route in tenant 2. Okay. And I'll make a route map D2 T2. The first route map. I'm gonna match the access list, and we'll make another route map D2 tenant 1. We'll match the ISV access list D2 T1. Okay, now we have route maps that matches the my static route. I'll go to the BGP 100 via F. We just go to tenant. We'll go to VF tenant 1. Address family, we use IPv4 address family unicast. We're going to redistribute into the BGP IPv4 unicast. The route map is D2T2. Exit the VIF address. VIF tenant 2. Again, we're going to redistribute the static route, and route map is the static route, how to route it to tenant 1. So run BGP. We have defined two VF tenant 1, tenant 2, and we are redistributing static routes into my BGP IPv4 unicast table. Next, I will go to my DC1 leaf 2 and see if DC1 leaf 2 can receive the route. Show IP routes 192.168.2.0 BIF is tenant 1. I have received the routes from BGP, and this encapsulated VXLAN. In tenant 1, I have a route to tenant 2 subnet. I will show again how tenant 2 receive routes. So tenant 2 received the routes from my leaf 1. Tenant also did the route to tenant 1 subnet. I will mention DC1 and leaf 2 will have EVPN routes. These static routes as EVPN route type 5. So I will show BGP L2 VPN. EVPN route type is 5. I'm seeing the two static routes through my EVPN table, eBGP table, into my leaf 2. I will see the subnet 192.168.2.0, and next hop is my leaf 1. Similarly, I have routes for tenant 2 goes to tenant 1 subnet 192.168.1.0. Next hop is also the leaf 1. The next, I will do some ping. I'm going to DC1X1 T1 is tenant 1 host. So this host is going to ping 192.168.2.100. First, I will show you what's the IP. The IP, it is tenant 1 endpoint, ping 192.168.2.100, and it can be pinged. I will do trace 192.68.2.100. It first encapsulates into the VXLAN and goes to bridged to leaf 1, and also it goes to anycast gateway IP, and it be routed to the tenant 2. Eventually, it hits tenant 2 anycast gateway IP, then it will be bridged to tenant to the tenant DC1 server tenant 2 host. Then let's go to this tenant 2 host, see what can be ping from reverse. Well, ping show IP, or ping is a tenant 2 host 68.1.111, and ping this host on the other leaf, and also can be pinned. I will do trace route, trace this host to the other leaf, and encapsulate it into tenant 2 anycast gateway, and be routed to the firewall back to my server tenant 1 host. So this is how we route tenant 1, tenant 2 within the data center through my inserted firewall. Back to our topology, I have the DCI environment through the super spine route service, only in a stretched for tenant 1. Let's open up my DC2 leaf 1, which has a tenant 1 host. Because I only stretch the VLAN for DCI between the two data center for tenant 1, we're only able to see the static routes in the tenant 1. We'll see the static routes to tenant 2 subnet, but I don't have a static route in tenant 2 because tenant 2 is not stretched through the DCI network. But the tenant 1 in DC2 was still able to ping tenant 2 and points. To prove that, I'll bring my DC2 server T1, that is a host in DC2, show IP. It is a tenant 1 host. I'm going to ping 192.168.2.100, and it crossed the tenant, crossed the DCI, data center interconnection network. It can be pinged because tenant 1 is stretched to the other between the data center and trace route. What you can find is the DC2 leaf 1 encapsulated packet to the DC2 spine 1 and through the super spine into the DC1 to the DC1 spine 1 and to the DC1 leaf 1 through the firewall back to my host in the other tenant. And the ping reply is going the same path. What cannot be done is if I have tenant 2 host in DC2, and this cannot be ping any tenant 1 host because the tenant 2 doesn't have a route to tenant 1 through the firewall in DC1. So this is how we use my ASA firewall insertion at the centralized gateway VXLAN to route different tenants within the data center and across the data center. Thank you.